What's going on, YouTube? How's everything? Today I'm bringing to you the first principle from the third part of Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. This first principle is do not argue with people, okay? Don't be argumentative, and most importantly, don't discredit somebody else's perspective, okay? Now, everybody's got different perspectives. We all kind of experience the world from a subjective, objective point of view. All of us have subjective opinions and subjective perspectives. However, we tend to think of them as objective. We tend to think of them as basically being the way or the right way. Okay? And this is not to your discredit, not to my discredit. It's just how we are. Okay? If you're knowledgeable of this, then you can basically never make the mistake of arguing with somebody, or never make the mistake of telling somebody else, hey, you are wrong, okay? It's true that there might be times where, say, you have a better answer than me, and I have an answer that is, say, less proficient than yours. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that we are at odds with each other. It just means that, simply put, you're informed in a different way, and I'm informed in a different way. Okay, because there is no one universal manner that says, or law that says that one way is better than another way. Okay, so instead, if you want to influence me, to try to teach me or win me over to your way of behaving or your way of thinking, then you're going to have to do it in, I guess, kind of a sensitive manner, because, I mean, hey, I've got this, I'm all alone in the world. I've got this brain that only knows so much about what's going on around me, and as far as I can tell, I do something in a certain way that for me has worked. It may not work, and now you may have a way that works better, but there's no way I can have any sensation or any knowledge of that. So for you to win me over, you have to be sensitive. If you argue with me, I'm going to become defensive, because I have to protect the little knowledge I have about what I'm doing that allows me to move and live through the world. Okay? So arguing with me, or say telling me that I'm wrong, is not really going to be very influential or persuasive. However, if at some point maybe you, for whatever reason, you want to teach me better, or you want to influence me, then the way you can accomplish this is simply by doing the thing. Okay? Just doing the thing around me. Or maybe wait until I ask you about it. Maybe you display some benefit from what you're doing that I don't necessarily have, because I don't do something in the way that you do it. Eventually I might ask you. Or if for some reason that you want to maybe be a little bit more pushy with it, you can instead get curious about what I'm doing, and maybe you can let me try to teach you about what I'm doing. And if you let me teach you about how I do something, right, then, or maybe my opinion or whatever, then instead you can ask me Socratical questions. Well, why would you do it that way, you know? Or, oh, that's interesting. And then, out of my own curiosity, and because we're all social people, and we all deep down innately and inherently know we don't know what's going on without each other, I might then say, oh, well, I do it this way just because. How do you do something? And then maybe you might have the opportunity to influence me or teach me that way. But regardless, the first principle is don't argue with anybody. Don't discredit somebody's perspective. Don't ever rain on somebody's parade. Okay? Never, never, ever try to argue. And certainly, more importantly, never tell somebody that they're wrong. Ever. Because even if you win an argument, you're still going to lose the person. Okay? Even if you win an argument, you're still going to lose the person. And winning over people is not about winning arguments, but it's about winning over people. It's about being influential. Arguments mean very little in the larger scope of things. So again, that's the first principle of a third part of Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Third part of the book being how to be more influential. I hope you like this video. I hope that you like this kind of thing. I know I do. It's really interesting stuff to me. Always reminding me of the most important social principles that sometimes it's very easy to forget. And I'll talk to you another time soon. I'll be bringing you the rest of these principles probably within the coming week.